Today we're talking about the Zenless Zone Zero version 1.2 special program. I'll be summarizing on the info we got and giving my thoughts on them. For ZZZ's normal update program, it seems like they're going to follow the Star Wars style with in-character appearances of agents, and we got a new Bang Boo program lead. Mr. Z, Caesar, and Bernice introduced us to the new Outer Ring update. We're finally focusing on the Sons of Caledon, who have been teased since the beginning, plus we got Piper and Lucy as part of the playable launch cast. Caesar and Bernice showed up in the latest PubSec event, and Lighter has shown up in-game around the town as well. The redemption code for this program is Tour de Inferno in all caps. Be sure to redeem that in-game for 300 polychromes. Version 1.2 is going to feature Chapter 4 of the main story, titled Tour de Inferno. This is actually the name of the cross-hollow motor race in the Outer Ring to determine the next Motor League Overlord. The Outer Ring doesn't use etheric material like in New Era do, instead they use oil as a resource. The Motor League supports the oil foot industry, and the Overlord gets to decide the transport routes. We learn the current Overlord is Pompey, who appears to have gone missing. By the way, in this shot with Pompey, his two friends already appeared in-game. They appear in Lumina Square, so just like the Sons of Caledon, a neat teaser for this update. They didn't mention anything, but we do see Billy in a cutscene. I'm curious to see if we'll get to see the Starlight Knight in action, since we do know Billy has some ties to the Sons of Caledon. If you have forgotten, after Chapter 3, Perlman escapes to the Outer Ring in the airship, so it would stand that Phaethon and the Cunning Hares have reason to head on out there. For some other fun info, biker gangs act as logistics groups ferrying supplies to and from in the Outer Ring. The Sons of Caledon's logistics company is formerly known as Leaps and Bounds. One of the rival biker gangs are called the Vanquishers, who have some neat looking Thyrans. Nothing was said, but the version teaser video showcased one of the Thyrans as a Shadow boss. We had Shadow Jane, so maybe that's a sign that these could be future playable characters. I think that'd be pretty cool. We also got to look at what I assume is the Chapter 4 boss. It's a super badass motorcycle riding ethereal. Can't wait to fight them. Next up, we got to look at the new agents coming in version 1.2. The leader of the Sons of Caledon, Caesar King, will be the first one available to summon. Caesar is our first S-rank defense agent, so some big expectations from our smallest class type. She will be a physical agent, so perhaps she'll be a good partner for the many physical damage dealers we have so far. She uses the good old sword and shield, no fancy transforming like Seth. Similar to Ben, Caesar's EX special appears to be a parry/block that can lead into a follow-up counter. Her additional ability requires a defensive assist agent, which is a new condition, or you can go with a Sons of Caledon ally. When triggering a perfect block, defensive assist, or other requirements, Caesar debuffs nearby enemies, allowing her team to deal extra damage to them. Caesar can provide a shield to allies with her EX special, chain attack, and ultimate. From her core passive, anyone with this shield gets extra anti-interrupt levels and bonus attack. The current defense agents do all seem to trend toward being part support units. Ben can buff crit, Set buffs anomaly, and Caesar gives bonus attack, extra damage debuffs, and her shield can help prevent knockbacks. Next up we have Bernice White, who is the resident mixologist. Bernice is an S-rank fire anomaly agent who dual wields Tonfa-like flamethrowers. I wondered how the heck a flamethrower would work in this game, but like everyone else, Bernice looks very fun to play. Her EX special appears to be a simple flamethrower blast, and it seems like Bernice can sidestep while using it, similar to Billy or Jujuwen. I'm not sure if it's after a certain amount of time or what, but Bernice can also fire both flamethrowers for extra damage. From her core passive, Bernice needs to build up a heat resource. With enough heat, she enters the nitro fuel cocktail state where her attacks inflict Scorch. Allies who hit scorched enemies will trigger Afterburn to deal extra fire damage. I'm pretty sure this is different from the regular burn anomaly, and Afterburn will stack up fire anomaly, which can then lead to an actual burn proc. Basically, Bernice will be dealing fire damage through multiple ways, and maybe more importantly, from off-field. They didn't mention it, but during her ultimate, Bernice seems to trigger a quick assist. While the next ally comes in to attack, Bernice stays in the air shooting her flamethrowers, which is pretty cool. I assume Bernice will need to come back out though if you want to trigger burn and disorder effects. There is one more new summonable unit, and that's the Sons of Caledon Bang Boo, Red Mockus. This little guy pulls out a sick one-wheel bike to run over enemies with. For the 1.2 event banners, the first one up is Caesar. You can also get Caesar's signature W engine, Tusk of Fury. The A-rank agents joining Caesar will be Anton and Piper with higher rate ups. This will be Piper's first rate up appearance, and you can get Anton and Piper's respective W engines on the Tusk of Fury W engine banner. For the second phase, you can get Bernice and her W engine, Flamemaker Shaker. Her A-rank rate up agents will be Lucy and Nicole. Of course, their W engines also get a rate up on the Flamemaker Shaker W engine banner. Once 1.2 hits, you can also grab Red Marcus from the Bangboo banner. Reminder, Bangboos are permanently added to the Growing Collection, and you can specifically pick the S rank you want to get next. Next up, we got the events for version 1.2. I think it's part of the main story chapter, but there seems to be some kind of racing minigame happening. Fitting inclusion for the update about biker gangs. While Chapter 4 will most likely focus on Caesar, we will learn more about Bernice via her agent story. Seems like Piper may also be involved as well. For other events, we have the Overlord's Feast event, which will have us running a diner in the Outer Ring. This will also reveal some stories about the Sons of Caledon. You're going to want to do this event because Lucy will be the free A-rank reward agent. Like other Hoyo games, they usually alternate between free units and free weapons for big events. I'm sure most players will agree that Lucy is very good as a simple attack buffing support. She can kind of fit in with any team comp. The next event is Bizarre Brigade, which is a new arcade game. I'm not sure if this is a permanent addition or just an event, but it looks like a Vampire Survivor / top-down shooter type game. You can get random items and even new allies to fight with you. Seems pretty cool. For the Roaming and Ether event, the Cunning Harris have found an old computer and want the info stashed inside. This minigame uses the TV board, and it seems like you have to defeat the viruses along the track. One of the rewards for this is a tuning calibrator for your drive disc. The Redo For You event features Hal and his newsstand. Hal has some picture puzzles to do, and you can earn a name card from this event as well. In the 1-for-1 Friendship Fair event, it seems like Shaw is back with her stand this time at Lumina Square. Like before, it just seems like you need to submit certain materials for 7 days, and you can get easy rewards. In terms of combat, there's going to be new commissions given by Rain under the Phantom Hunt event. I assume this will be similar to the Obsidian Comet commissions in 1.1. There will also be a new Notorious Hunt stage for the Chapter 4 boss, as expected, and then it seems like Shadow Jane will be one of the new Expert Challenge bosses. I think it's a very fun fight personally. Shield Defense is getting another mode called Ambush Node. This one is a limited time, so be sure to clear it before those stages end. An interesting new event is the Investigator Training Course. This event will have different combat trials, and you can use certain agents you may not own. Different factions will also have different buffs for them. After completing a certain course, you can even send agents to gain EXP over time. I don't think it's going to be a crazy amount or anything, but free EXP means less resources used, so why not take advantage? When it comes to upgrading your agents, we have 2 new drive disc sets coming in 1.2. Chaos Jazz is another Anami Proficiency 2-piece set. The 4-piece boosts fire and electric damage, plus off-field EX special and assist attacks are increased to by 20%. If the user switches back on field, the buff lasts for 5 seconds, but can only be triggered every 7.5 seconds, so you can't get too spamming with the swaps. This set obviously fits Bernice best, although maybe someone like Grace could also use it since the damage boost stays active for 5 seconds. Either way, Chaos Jazz definitely isn't meant for agents who stay out for long periods of time. The other new set is Proto Punk. The 2-piece grants a plus 15% shield effect, which I assume only buffs how much shield a unit gives out. This means it's mainly for the 3 defense agents, including Caesar, who all generate shields. The 4-piece set can grant plus 15% increased damage to all squad members whenever a perfect assist happens. This doesn't even have to be the user, so technically anyone can run this for extra damage buffs. Caesar already buffs and debuffs, so this set will just further add to her supportive capabilities. To help with the farming for the new agents during 1.2, we'll have double drop events for both the regular agent materials and for drive discs. Can't complain about that, but good luck on the drive disc farming. As usual, there's going to be a login bonus for 10 encrypted master tapes and 10 boopons, more free stuff. In version 1.2, we have a new quality of life updates. First off, Withering Garden no longer has a level requirement to try, you just need to beat the prerequisite stages. They're also adding a Blitz mode to Withering Garden only, I believe. Blitz mode has no TV portions, and after fighting enemies, you still gain Resonium. There appears to be a new Resonium set called Tenacity, but this wasn't talked about, so I'm not entirely sure. If you want a challenge, you can crank up the Ether activity, and this will also grant increased investigation points to make the weekly Hollow Zero farming a bit easier. The extra points also apply to the regular Withering Garden exploration mode as well. It wasn't mentioned, but it seems like the bounty commission part has been changed again. It seems like you only need investigation points rather than defeat a certain number of enemies or heal a certain amount. Moving on to other updates, the HDD will now let you claim observation data you may have missed in missions with the TV mode. This requires some time, but basically you don't have to go replay a level if you miss something. You're going to get the rewards you missed as well. In addition, they have made more optimizations to the TV mode, faster animations, skippable parts, and just tidying up how many times the game does the close-up scenes for common events. A new feature being added is being able to store backup battery energy. Basically, if you don't use your battery, you can save the extra amount after 240. I'm not sure how it's going to work in ZZZ, but in Star Rail, you only store a portion of the stamina you would have gained. From the version infographic, it says you can store up to 2,400 battery charge, which is 10 days worth of stamina. If this is actually a 1-to-1 conversion, then wow, but I really doubt it. You really should be logging in daily to get those polychromes from doing dailies, but if you really can't play, then this is just a super nice feature to get back into things. Next up, a feature that was talked about is finally getting added, and that is having preset teams. Honestly, not sure why this wasn't already a thing considering the last 2 games, but glad it's here now. In addition, for Shield defense, they're giving us the ability to swap which side each team goes on. Very nice for when you're running into those element-resistant enemies. Moving on, they're adding more characters you can run around as. Not only can you swap between Wise and Bell, but for 1.2 you can play as Caesar and Bernice too. It was mentioned that in version 1.4 you're going to be able to run around as any agent you own. I am oh so curious how they're going to handle Ben. Another feature that is being implemented is being able to change the time of day at any point. Currently, you can only rest 1 time per day to move time forward 1 slot. I just finished adopting Inky, which took a while if you aren't specifically farming stages to pass time. It seems like this will help make that challenge a whole lot easier. At the end of the program, they played about 15 minutes of the DJ set that happened at Creamfields North in the UK. On the official ZZZ channel, they uploaded the entire almost hour-long version of the set with just the music and background video. That'll be it for the version 1.2 special program. There are a ton of new events coming, plus we finally get to meet the Sons of Caledon officially. I think it's pretty clear that Lighter will be summonable eventually, but we'll have to wait a bit longer. It does make me curious if next update will be section 6, or maybe there's going to be a split up, or maybe another side story chapter like with Undercover R&B. Hopefully we'll get Lighter next time though. That's all I got for this video. Let me know your thoughts on the version 1.2 update coming. Thank you for watching, have fun with the game, and I will see you in the next video.